What's going on, guys? I want to talk about this article from Refinery 29. It says, rejected for being too successful, career-driven women say it's better to know. You know, that's something that's been going around the last couple of years, and even more recently, about women saying that men don't want successful, powerful, strong women, right? No, that is the furthest thing from the truth. And I'm going to explain this video. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why feminism has a lot to do with this. And the fact that there are women who more and more are starting to reject feminism because feminism has ruined the dating value of women. It really has. Because they have embraced that ideology, especially when they were in their 20s. It seemed like women, when they're at their dating peak or when they're in their dating prime, they tend to embrace feminism more and more because they are approached by so many men that they become picky and they think that they can use these men, they can treat these men any way they want to. They can, not date men who are actually the better option for them long term. They want to wait till they already hit the wall before they really want to pursue those type of relationships. So what they will do in the meantime is that they will waste away their prime years dating men who just use them, okay, who won't commit to them, okay. And once those men no longer are showing the same amount of interest, they've moved on. Now these women are getting older. They've been, working in their careers, and they might be single mothers, or they don't have any children. They don't have any family. They don't have anything. They just have, a good gig. They lost all of their friends. They're just alone. And what happens is those type of people who have this mindset of career, working towards this, they get to a point to where they have what they want, but they're still sleeping alone at night. And then they will always blame the men that they were with for why they are where they're at. But you chose them over and over and over again. You took Darnell back after he done cheated on you over and over and over and over and over. Messed around, relationships are toxic. And you still go back to that guy. You waste your prime years when you could have met the guy who could have funded your whole lifestyle, giving you everything you wanted, giving you that family that you wanted, stability that women claim they want now. But instead, you out here messing around with dudes who only see you for something to sleep with. And that's about it. And they will sell you dreams. You will put up with it because you're so attracted to them. You don't want them with nobody else. That's why you have women who will have children with certain guys, knowing that that guy is not good for them, but they think that's going to keep that guy with them. And what ends up happening is he ends up leaving anyway. And now you have articles like this, and let me get into it. Ashley Roberson, a successful New York City-based real estate salesperson, was once broken up with by a man who said he had hoped her career would someday become a hobby. One night after Roberson stepped out during dinner to take an emergency work call, he told Roberson that she wasn't the woman he initially thought she was. A sweet Southern girl who he could make a home, get married, and have kids with. He said he didn't think that this was what he was signing up for, Roberson told Refinery 21. Basically, he said, you're not the product I originally thought. Now, first off, that's cold. And secondly, I think she should appreciate the honesty. And I think that what he means by that is that even though they were in a relationship, her career was a close second to him, if not equal to him. And he's like, you're in New York, but you're a Southern girl. I thought you'd be different, but you're not. Most of these women from New York City, they're career driven. They're not about, having a home and a family. They're more about their careers and focusing on that, and not focusing on building what you and me could be building. Like many other successful career driven women who date men, Roberson has had a rough time in the dating world, but her situation has become increasingly common as women's roles in society and the obligations that come with those roles continue to evolve. While many men will say they want to date smart, driven, and ambitious women, in practice, this does not always seem to be the case. In fact, a surprising number of men struggle to date successful women whose accomplishments might call their own into question. Let me just say this. If a guy is dating you, especially in 2019, right? Let's say I'm following you on social media, right? And we ended up rapping and it get to happening, right? I already know what you do for a living. I see your lifestyle on social media. You put it out there. You're traveling, you're working. I see all that. So you mean to tell me that I'm going to get into a relationship with you knowing that you're a busy woman, and then all of a sudden step back and say, no, I can't do it? Come on, man. That's an excuse. That's a cop-out. I think what's happening is that these women are choosing men who are already emotionally unavailable. Let's just be real. And you also have men, right, who are used to dating women who are, used to dating men who are way more successful than them, men who financially take care of them, right? You will have women who are busy, who work in corporate America, who will, when they're in the middle of trying to date a guy, they will tell the guy, oh, my career, it's just a job. I don't take it that seriously. I work hard at it. I want to advance. I want to do this and that. I want to, be my own boss, be self-employed, but I'm ready to start a family. I'm ready to be, in a relationship. I'm ready to get married, be a homemaker, or, raise the family. They will say all that to this guy. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's buying into the BS. But what ends up happening is that as soon as that woman believes that she has you, then she's going to change, because that mask begins to slip. And that's why us as men, we have to read women more carefully, because they will come to us telling us one thing, but actually end up doing another. So I don't think that it's so much so men are rejecting successful women. It's just that these women it's not like they're successful. It's that they are literally we could be in the middle of a really, heartfelt conversation. We can be in bed together, and you getting up, running to the bathroom or running to the living room with your phone. Do you think a guy wants to have to deal with that? Because he's in his mind, he's going to think, well, why is she leaving the room just to get on the phone? Why all these calls? First off, I don't know what 9-to-5 job requires you to be on the phone. I'm just saying, I don't know what office job requires you to be getting random phone calls when you're on a dinner date, when you're at home. I don't know what type of job that is. I don't know what do you like? You in the music business, or if you're in the entertainment business, now that's different. I just think that if you're in the entertainment business, yes, that's going to affect your relationships if you're constantly taking phone calls, leaving the room, because then guys are going to get, a little bit suspicious. All I'm saying. So I think it depends on the career, Earlier this month, a Twitter thread on this topic went viral. The Twitter user, who is a lawyer, shared how she felt how she left her fiance after he told her, sometimes I wish you were just a teacher or a nurse because you wouldn't think so much. It's intimidating. Oh, come on. I don't believe that any guy said that, man. Seriously? Well, I take that back. Some of the behavior I've noticed from some of these males, I can believe they would say that. But for the most part, I just think this is one guy, and this is one guy's thought. That don't mean he speaks for the rest of us. There are some guys out there, some very, very small, who may feel a certain type of way about a woman being more successful than him. But for the most part, I don't think a lot of men are intimidated by a woman being successful. Men want, listen, it's 2019. Men want their girlfriends to work, even their wives to work, especially if there's no kids at home. If it's just you and her, you might prefer for her to work, as long as it doesn't interfere in your personal life. Let me just say this. If he's working in corporate America too, if he's working a really good job and he's not taking random phone calls during dinner dates and when you're at home, if he can leave his work life at home, leave his work life at work, and is able to have a home life, you should be able to do the same. Because it almost seems to me that you're going 1000% on your career, and you're not really caring about your home life. So I can see how that would bother some guys that, he's making time to be with you, but you're not making time to be with him. It's all about building your career and getting you where you want to go, as if you don't have a relationship. And no man is going to take a back seat to your career. No man should take a back seat to your career. And if you don't want to take a back seat to a man's career, then you shouldn't take a back seat to a man's career. It's just that simple. The tweet prompted thousands of responses from women who have experienced issues with their career successes negatively impacting their ability to connect romantically with men. Have y'all noticed this, man? These same women, right? These career-oriented women, they're able to date the dudes who don't have a job. Have y'all noticed that? The dudes who ain't got no job, they ain't got no funds, just a bunch of, support debt. They're able to date those guys. But the guys who have careers themselves, the guys who are out here, working good jobs, those guys, for the most part, the guys who are successful, those relationships always fail. They always fail. But you're able to date the guys who don't have anything with ease. Because there's a lot of these so-called successful women who are dating men who are living off of them. And those relationships do seem to work more. Why is that? Is it because it becomes a contest of who can do better in a relationship? Is a relationship can become competitive for you because it ain't for the guy you with? Roberson too has noticed that her career success has made a considerable impact on her dating life. When asked on her dates where she sees herself in the future, Roberson is candid about the amount of work required of her as the co-founder of a successful real estate team. Well, if you have a real estate team, you should let the team work. And you should be able to tell your team that home is home. You're the boss. Simple as that. But if you're not going to make time for your man, then no, you're not going to have a relationship. That's just how it is. It's just like a dude who works in the corporate world, has his own business, and he's at home constantly taking phone calls from employees and business partners while he's trying to have a long time. You ain't going to like that. You have to make time whether you want to or not. If you want that relationship to work, you can't sit there and all day long is business, and think that, especially if the relationship is just starting out, that the relationship is going to work. That relationship is going to fail because you're focusing more on the work than the work it takes to put into making that relationship flow. And yet, inevitably, it seems that the men she dates seem threatened by her career drive. I've received a line, "You seem too busy for me," or "I don't really see our future aligning," Roberson said. And maybe that is true. And just like I just said. And I think women got to understand this. If you want to have a marriage, you want to have a successful relationship, you need to make time. If he's going to make time for you, you got to make time for him. You can't have this feminist mindset of I'm strong, independent, I don't need a man, and then look for a man, because you're never going to get one.